There's a type of story many people have been attracted to from childhood, a narrative where kids living their normal lives are suddenly thrust into some kind of high-stakes adventure involving the government, secret facilities, or monsters you can't quite understand. This explains why we are so attracted to stories made by Stephen King, Spielberg, and even R.L. Stine, which also explains why many stories like Stranger Things became so popular, perfectly playing into our nostalgia for these kind of narratives. It's pretty clear that the world and story of Stranger Things was very unique and intriguing to dissect. However, the original story that inspired Stranger Things is somehow even more interesting. Stranger Things is inspired by many works from different creatives, sure, but the roots of the series are directly connected to a popular urban myth and conspiracy theory, the Montauk Project. It is said, through whispers and rumors, that in Montauk, New York, deep within an Air Force station, Camp Hero, there is a hidden facility within. Here, a series of government projects took place, primarily research into strange psychological warfare and research into time travel, teleportation, and many others. It's a place tied to conspiracy itself and is even directly involved in contact with aliens. It's said that many participants here were experimented on forcefully without their consent. Many of these stories involving the location are taken from the book The Montauk Project: Experiments in Time by Preston B. Nicholas and Peter Moon, which was published in 1992. A book that no doubt the Duffer Brothers read during their research of the topic. You see, while developing a school documentary surrounding another conspiracy called the Philadelphia Experiment, they came across the Montauk Project and thus became very obsessed with the story to the point where they began developing an entire project around it, a found footage film inspired by the events titled The Montauk Experiment, though at this point, the idea to make it found footage was dropped in favor of a one-season miniseries. At least 3 things emerged from the project during its early development. There was the series Bible, a 23-page visual document outlining the overall vision for the series. It explores the various inspirations for the project, especially Stephen King, as even the cover of the document is modeled after a Stephen King book. The story of the miniseries, the characters within, the structure the series would follow, the music and visual aesthetic, giving whoever this was presented to a very clear idea on what this show was meant to be. The second element developed for the series was the script, which outlines the pilot episode and follows the series Bible pretty closely.
Listen, Chief, be careful, will you?
In this town?
Lastly, there was the sizzle reel, which was a trailer developed by the Duffer Brothers to visually demonstrate what this show would look like. The trailer features footage from various films and TV shows combined together to create an exact vibe and feeling the Duffer Brothers were aiming for, while also telling a story through it as well. The overall story of the Montauk Experiment is almost identical to Stranger Things in structure. Both follow the disappearance of Will Byers from a supernatural occurrence, how it affects the town, and how many characters such as Joyce stop at nothing to find him, inevitably coming into conflict with a supernatural threat, the government, and how a psychic child named 11 might be connected to these strange events. Though the structure is the same, there are a few differences worth mentioning. First of all, Montauk is set in Montauk, New York, rather than Hawkins, Indiana. The only reason for this is due to production issues, forcing them to film here instead. Second, it's heavily implied that Will was taken by several supernatural entities rather than just one, meaning that this version of the Upside Down had multiple creatures within. And finally, it seems the appearance and existence of this other dimension is starting to meddle with our reality. There are strange electrical storms, gravity is beginning to fluctuate, a heavy fog comes over the city, and people are beginning to see strange entities within the town. So clearly this version of the project leaned a bit more into the supernatural nature of the world, making Stranger Things weirdly the more grounded version of the narrative. Psychic humans, a town living under the shadow of strange government experiments. Strangely, the Montauk Project feels different from Stranger Things, despite the fact that they share virtually the same story. You get this weird allure from it, like this is a town that will forever be cursed by something we don't understand.